And we're back. All flash.
No substance.
All right. Today's top 5 is going to be in honor of Veterans Day. We're doing top 5 war movies.
Yeah.
So, since I am in the captain's chair, finally, Mama, they let me drive. I'm going to let Aspen go first.
Okay, cool. All right, so my number 5.
Number 5
is Lone Survivor, starring Mark Wahlberg. It's like 2005 Iraq scene.
What is it that you liked about it?
I mean, I like that it was modern, you know, for something that, like, especially the Iraq War was something that nobody, like, we knew about, but it was just something that, I think all wars are just very, like, you see it on TV. And I think that was something that...
It brought it home?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that was something about that.
Yeah, definitely.
My number 4 is Fury. So this movie I actually was recommended to me by a friend when I was a junior in high school. And I didn't think I was going to like it because I'm not a big fan of, what's his name?
Brad Pitt?
Brad Pitt, thank you. I was like, what's
that guy in the movie with the hair?
I was like, what's his name? Brad Pitt. But I actually really liked it.
It was towards the tail end. Yeah, it's towards the tail end of World War II where they were already in Germany.
Yeah.
So the last few German, it was really the SS, right, who was putting up the last big fight right before Hitler was a wuss and took his own life.
Yeah. Okay. My number 3.
Number 3
is most recently Hacksaw Ridge.
Really? I haven't seen that movie.
Yeah, you
that's
haven't?
That's a great movie.
A great movie. I cried. Like, I really...
That does not surprise me, but okay.
Whatever. Andrew Garfield's performance was so good and powerful. Like, when you watch him in Spider-Man, and, like, he's such a... I don't know, I want to say that he's fragile. You know, he's a man. I just mean, like, there's something about, like...
He wasn't manly?
It's something about his compassion in the film and his, like...
You know, he was 30 when he was Spider-Man, by the way.
Whatever. Like, his passion in general in the movie and, like, how much...
I just couldn't get... I liked the movie. It's just his accent in the movie was...
Okay, but, like, that's... Every character has to put on...
No. It was almost as bad... I won't even get there. Go there.
All right.
Whatever. Okay, my number 2.
Number 2
is Full Metal Jacket. Of course.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean, like, great soundtrack.
Yeah.
Like, really that movie really brought you into the world of the Vietnam War.
Yeah.
And that's because when I was in middle school, I had the honor of seeing the Vietnam War memorial. Okay. And I think that was
Vietnam.
I should travel back in time.
That was something, and at the time, like, I was so young, that's something that just goes over my head.
Yeah, you don't really grasp how intense it was.
Yeah, and so, like, I think that movie really brought it all together because I mean, I didn't see it until I was in high school and I found out that it was a 4-star film and something that was just so accredited.
Okay.
All right, and my number 1.
Number 1!
You're probably gonna give me crap about is Pearl Harbor.
What?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
You have just been saved because
that's your top pick of all the war movies.
Number 1. No, it's not. Okay, let me tell you. I do have beef with the movie because...
Oh, you got... But it's still at your number 1?
No, quiet. The only reason that it's my number 1 is because I have seen that movie almost every single year of my educational career in high school in a history class. It didn't matter what the topic was or what we were talking about. That was just a movie that we watched all the time.
That's because there's no other Pearl Harbor movie.
Because it's
I know.
You can't watch Full Metal Jacket.
Yeah, because it's such a long movie. The teachers are like, what can we do to buy time? Oh, it's either Schindler's List or... No.
Anyway, but, like, my only beef with it is that there's just such a huge romantic story in it that I'm not a big fan of.
That was what pretty much the entire movie was.
I know that the whole movie was like that, but whatever. It's close to home. Okay, leave me alone.
That's like saying the best sailor movie out there is Titanic.
The best sailor movie.
The best sailor movie out there is Captain Phillips.
That's messed up. Okay, fine.
All right, guys. So I'm gonna go. Hopefully, no, not hopefully. After hearing your list, especially, I know mine will be much higher.
You get a free pass after that list.
I'm a child, okay?
Number
5, Apocalypse Now.
True.
Okay.
Yeah, snap.
That is an all-time classic. Watch it at any point in time. You're gonna enjoy it.
Yeah.
Right. So, number 4. Is a movie that most people haven't seen, but I would strongly advise you to see, Iwo Jima, and this is with John Wayne.
I've never seen that movie, but I
John Wayne. So most of these movies nowadays rely on special effects.
Yeah.
But this was more. It was one of the few movies where it was real gritty back in the day. So they didn't have the fancy special effects.
Right.
So it was a little bit more meaningful for me to watch that.
They killed real people.
I just don't. Okay. All right. Number three. I was going to say Full Metal Jacket, but I knew that was going to be on her list for some reason.
Yeah.
And I has a special
I think
place.
that's why it was so low on mine.
Yeah,
too.
Should have been number one.
Should have been number one. Should have been number one, but I was going to leave it out because I knew she was going to say it, even though my grandmother took me to see that movie.
Aw.
Bad parenting.
Awesome grandmothering. What are you talking about? Grandparenting. All right. The Thin Red Line.
Okay.
Never heard of it.
This was a movie that gave you a different perspective of what it was like. These guys have been in war. You know, they're tired of it. They just want to escape, but they don't want to go AWOL either. And it's just a lot of emotions going through there. So for me, that was one of the better films out there that gave you a different perspective. Okay. Number two.
Number two.
I'm gonna get a lot of flack for this one.
Is it Pearl Harbor? Is it Ghost?
It's a ghost. I was gonna say Dead Presidents.
What? That's a
Dead
great
Presidents.
pick.
Yeah.
So it gave you the war,
Yeah.
Vietnam War, and they are veterans.
Would you say that's a war film?
Yes, yes. This showed you the effects of what happened after they were in war,
Okay.
right? So they showed them when they were there how crazy things got, but then they gave you what these guys as being, all these black men coming back, right, in a war that they didn't really want to be in, but they were doing their duty. They were drafted. They were in there. Coming back and feeling all that heat from people that just weren't there. They wouldn't understand. That was something that it gave you both sides, and they were about. It was veterans.
Okay.
They were just trying to make it. They were just trying to make a man in the streets.
Great cat.
Yeah.
But for me, that is a war movie. There, Dead Presidents.
Great pick.
Okay.
And
Number one.
Number one.
I'm surprised you left this one out. Was Platoon.
yeah, obviously I knew you were gonna pick it, so that's why I left it out.
Platoon.
Oh, it's Stripes. That barely counts.
All right.
That really counts.
Yeah, so that one, I mean, everybody will agree with Platoon. Platoon and Full Metal Jacket are automatics. They're going to be on the list.
Like number one
Yeah.
all the time.
Yeah, way better than Pearl Harbor.
Whatever, okay? It's a sentimental movie to me.
Okay, but
Should have been number five.
All right, any
should have been an honorable mention.
No.
All right, speaking of honorable mentions, go
I
ahead.
have two, and that's Zero Dark 30, which would have made my list if it wasn't like the handy
If it wasn't
cam.
for Pearl Harbor.
No, if it wasn't a handy cam film, because I get sick during those, so like I can't watch them.
Okay.
But I hear it was a really
I
good
got
movie.
sick at Pearl
Like,
Harbor.
you're fired. Anyway, and then my other one is most recently Thank You for Your Service with Miles Teller. It's not like in war, but it's a lot about PTSD,
No.
everything afterwards,
Yeah.
and I think that's something that's really nice. And Miles Teller actually has been doing a lot of war movies, which is very different from the stuff that he came from, which is a lot of book films, and it's really nice to see from him that he's growing up and things like that.
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay. All right. A little deeper thought on that one.
Yeah.
Okay, for me,
Not on Pearl Harbor.
Be quiet, leave me alone.
don't, folks, don't leave her
Okay,
alone.
but what's worse, Pearl Harbor or Puss in Boots?
That's good.
For a war movie, you're gonna say out of everything, okay, folks. Yeah, I'm right. All right. So my honorable mentions: Black Hawk Down.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I forgot about
That was one of the more. All the other movies had taken place. All the war movies had really taken. It was a much more modern. It was something that people in the movie theaters, they knew someone who experienced it, either a husband, an older brother, a father, at a very young age. So, Black Hawk Down. Another one, Hurt Locker.
Hurt Locker. Great movie.
Yeah, that was gonna be on my top 5, but.
Jeremy Renner. Maybe.
Yeah, man, he really, but he gave another different perspective of what it's like to go through. Obviously, I'm going to say American Sniper.
Yeah,
Okay.
that was
Okay.
a really good movie.
One of the other ones that was left out, and I'm sorry to say, I was debating on this one, was Unbroken.
Unbroken. That was
Angelina Jolie's directorial debut, right?
one of them.
Yeah, and so this movie, man, as somebody, I like to, even though you can't tell, I like to stay active. I like to think that I'm mentally, strong to be able to compete, even do certain races and marathons. But for someone to go through all that and never lose hope, and just to be beaten down and still, stay positive and not let himself be broken, that just showed that, man, I cried at that movie. That movie teared me up just on the mental fortitude of what he had and what prisoners of war really experienced.
Yeah.
So those are my honorable mentions.
Cool.
I'm surprised nobody brought up Dunkirk.
That was.
I was going to do it, but then I felt like y'all would have made fun of me because I only was going to pick it for Harry Styles.
No, but we made fun of you for Pearl Harbor.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
It does have kick back and forth. I can't front on that.
Nobody brought
Anyway,
up
you
Jarhead.
want to close?
Yes.
All right, so thank you for listening, and I hope everyone has a good Veterans Day. And to all of our veterans, we thank you for your service, and all of you who are out there serving now, I thank you so much. We appreciate you from everybody here at The Goods. As usual, please subscribe, like our videos, check us out, tell your friends. We're always here. Anything else?
No, that's all it.
No? All right, well, for Manny and Terrence, we'll see you next time.
Just me.
But you got to give him a little bit of time.
Like, there's a bit to the.
It's like my number five, my number five, and it's a flat. My number four is.
I thought you said you weren't going to answer.
I had a seizure. That's how fast they were flashing. Ah!
I was being sarcastic.